Ladies and gentlemen, FC Barcelona have defeated Daegu FC 5-0. It was raining in South Korea. The weather was atrocious, but Barcelona brought a storm of goals to close out the Asian tour. It was amazing. I believe that Barcelona, all in all, did a tremendous job showcasing that we have great depth, that we can score goals, and even though we made some defensive errors, Barcelona do have the capacity to fix those errors. A total of 15 goals were scored by Barcelona while conceding a total of 4. But we were dominant in the most recent match, winning with 5 total goals. 72% of the possession was ours and limiting Daegu to just 2 shots through the whole 90 minutes. Barcelona took 29 shots themselves, with 16 being on target, and we outperformed the expected goal rate of 3.65. We even caught Daegu offside 5 total times in the first 15 minutes. They wanted to attack us, but we did not let them because we always kept them offside. It showed that we were tactically disciplined and total defensive sharpness. It was amazing. Now, the way that I'm going to be approaching this video is I'm going to be revolving around specific players because I do want to get player specific for this match. Because one of the players that did stand out, it was Gavi. Gavi was the star of the show. Gavi scored 2 goals and was the heart of everything that Barcelona did well. His first goal in the 21st minute was a composed left-footed strike from the outside of the box and perfectly placed through the defender's legs. It was amazing. Gavi is not even a left-footed player. He's a right-footed player. And the fact that he was able to score a goal like this showcases that he is working on both feet. He does not want to be dominant just on one foot. He wants both of his feet to be just as efficient, which is ultimately going to make him such a dangerous player in the long run. And then came his second goal in the 45th minute. Very much a messy type of goal. It was even better. He dribbled the ball down the right flank, chipped it over the goalkeeper, and goal. That was it. It was that easy. His finesse, his touch, his composure is something that we have to admire for a midfielder. Total stats for Gavi. He had 47 touches. 38 out of 40 passes were completed, which marks up 95%. 2 out of 2 shots were on target. 5 out of 5 long balls were accurate. 3 recoveries, 1 interception, and a 1 tackle was won. He has scored 3 goals in the last 2 matches this preseason. And in total, Gavi, during the preseason, played 3 games, scored 3 goals, and provided 1 assist. I'm telling you guys, this guy is the hustler. This guy is the soldier. But most importantly, this guy is the Real Madrid destroyer. Because yes, he has a history on pounding Real Madrid in the past 2 to 3 years. And the fact that we're going to get an even better version of Gavi this season, I just cannot wait to see what he does against our biggest rivals. I expect him to play with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of motivation, a lot of persistence. The fact that he is playing like this after an ACL injury, it's about time, bro. We missed the old Gavi, and if anything, we'll get more than what Gavi has done ever before in his career. Now, here's going to be the biggest question, and I do want to ask you guys this. How would you place Gavi into the starting 11 once the season does start? Because we have to remember, we have a lot of midfielders. We still have Frankie, we still have Pedri, we still have Casado, we still have Bernal. There's a lot of players. How would you form the starting 11, and especially in the midfield? Because the way that I see it, knowing that Gavi has been playing spectacularly as a number 6, I could see, and work with me here, but I could see a double pivot of Gavi and Frankie with Pedri as the number 10, because Pedri is no stranger to the number 10 position. He has played in the number 10 position mainly with the Spanish national team, and he has been just as effective. So let me know in the comment sections down below. Do you see a double pivot of Gavi and Frankie? Because Frankie has also been on form. Now, if you say, no, I don't think so, I think that Frankie should not be in the starting 11, I would like to see Pedri in the number 6 position next to Gavi, then that is also very fair. However, if we're going to have a Pedri-Gavi double pivot, who is going to be playing as the number 10? Because I would tell you that yes, Rafinha could play in the number 10 position with Rashford on the left, but Rashford has to be exceptional in order for us to move Rafinha to a different position. It just doesn't make any sense for us to move Rafinha away from his best position only to bring in Marcus Rashford when Marcus Rashford does not bring the exact same level of stats and data compared to Rafinha on the left. So in order for me to say yes to Gavi and Pedri double pivot, I have to see Marcus Rashford very efficient, scoring goals and being at a world-class level. If not, then Rafinha should maintain his position on the left, leaving an open space for the number 10 position. Now, we could argue that maybe Dani Olmo can play in the number 10 position, and I would say yes, but to be honest, looking at Olmo and how he has performed in the past 2 to 3 matches, he has not been the very best. I just feel like sometimes he loses the ball too much, and sometimes he does not really connect with all of his teammates. I do believe that I have to see a little bit more from Dani Olmo. Another alternative that we could go for going into this brand new season is having a double pivot of Frankie and Pedri, like what we did last season, but with Gavi as the number 10 and not as a number 6, because I think that either way, Gavi can play in both positions and be just as effective, just like Pedri. Gavi understands the 6th position. He understands how to play as an 8, aka the number 10 position. Hansi Flick even explained that Gavi can play as an 8 and also as a 6, so So it would be no surprise to see Gavi start between Yamal and Rafinha for the new season, with Pedri and Frankie right behind him. But let me know what you guys think about these three potential options in which Gavi is included. Which one do you believe suits Barcelona the best? Now let's move on towards Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal for me was an 8.5 out of 10. Not as good as Gavi or as effective as Gavi, but still Yamal was amazing. He was pure magic on the wing. I know that Yamal did not score, but he produced so many magical moments. It had the fans inside the stadium just being in awe. They were like, oh my god, bro, Yamal is doing all of these things. I am so entertained. This whole game is amazing. Yamal was the guy that created all of the magic. He completed 6 dribbles and winning 7 out of 11 duels, which was the most. And Yamal also created the most chances, which was a total of 4. He assisted Gavi's opener with a perfectly weighted pass. And in the 37th minute, he pulled off multiple skill moves that made the crowd just go up in flames. They were so loud. They're like, bro, like, are you kidding me? How is Yamal doing such things? And I would agree with everybody there. I was also hyped. When I was looking at the replay, I'm like, bro, how is Lamine Yamal doing this? Like, he's starting to really look like Neymar more than Messi. I don't know how to explain it, but there's like some games where he looks like Messi, and then there's some games where he looks like Neymar. But in this game, he definitely looked like Neymar, but on the right side because of his skill moves, the way that he took down so many players, dropped them on the floor, putting the ball between the legs. I would even say that not only is he getting better with his skills, but he is getting much faster and more explosive. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but every time he does retain the ball and he runs towards the defense, he just looks much faster, and it is very difficult for the defenders to like keep up with Yamal, even though Yamal has the ball. He is looking much more athletic, which is very scary, because if you combine the dribbling of Yamal and the explosiveness that he does carry right now, which looks very similar to Mbappe when he was 18 or 19 years old, it's going to bring him to a brand new level. You can tell that during the training sessions, they have been working on explosiveness, and Yamal is bringing that. Now let's move on towards Marcus Rashford, because Marcus Rashford finally finds his first goal, and it happened on the 65th minute with Eric Garcia making a cutback. Marcus Rashford receives the ball and easily places it into the bottom right corner. His movement and his pace was a constant threat. He linked up with Dani Olmo and the forwards, so the synergy there is building. Moving on towards the other players, and I would say is like the supporting cast and the players that did step up a little. It was Lewandowski who scored the second goal with a perfectly timed run behind Gerard Martin's cross. Gerard Martin made a Jordi Alba-like pass into the box. It was amazing, and then Lewandowski just tapped the ball in and it was a goal. Toni Fernández also scored his goal at the age of 17 years old. It is his first senior goal after being set up by Dani Olmo. An amazing creative play from Olmo all in all. So Barcelona played a high defensive line with intense pressing, and Flick made 11 halftime substitutions just like he did in the past 2 matches. The level of play never dropped, right? The intensity, the speed of play, all of that was very consistent from minute 1 to minute 90. And I would also like to shout out to all the youngsters that showcased their brilliance, right? Like João Fernandes. João Fernandes played yet again as a number 10. I would put him in the exact same department in terms of control next to Gavi and Yamal, because João Fernandes in tight spaces knows how to maneuver through very compact situations. I love the way that João Fernandes has been playing, and I think that this guy does have a future. Rooney Bardi also played. He looked very comfortable. A lot of things are starting to fall into place. Currently, right now, there is no real injury updates. Many were scared that Pau Cubarsí got injured, but it was just a knock on his leg and nothing more. It's nothing serious. He's going to be fine. He'll be there for the match against Como. It was all precautionary. So our next match is going to be against Como, and we are going to be competing for the Joan Gamper trophy. And then after that, we have the La Liga opener match against Mallorca on August 16th. So I'm very happy with this Barcelona team. I think that our depth has improved. We look much stronger when these substitutes do come in, and with Gavi flying, bringing in better stats in terms of goals and assists, with Yamal dazzling, taking down so many players with his dribblings, and Rashford really settling in on the left wing, I believe that Barcelona will be ready to defend their title. But thank God, bro. Thank God that Barcelona are finally back. I have been dying to see Barcelona play. Like, these past 2 to 3 months has been so depressing. Like, the fact that we had to go through and watch the Club World Cup, which was like satanic haram football. I'm like, what is this, dude? Like, we need Barcelona back. The fact that they had to sit through watching Juventus, Chelsea, Real Madrid, that whole thing was a joke, right? We're finally back. We're back to La Liga. Barcelona will be coming in fully firing, and Flick ball has returned to aid football. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.